Have you ever heard that exercising is like saving for retirement? It's not. Regular movement and activity are more like showing up for work. And in this job, there is no time off. Now, before you throw your phone across the room and write me off as some lunatic drill sergeant, give me a chance to explain. I'm certainly not saying that we all need to become muscle bound, gym obsessed CrossFit devotees, but hey, if that's your jam, go nuts. No, instead, we need to understand that in order to have the future we likely want, movement will need to be an ongoing feature of our life. You see, we all have use it or lose it itis, and there is no cure. This means that without regular stimulus, our muscles and our cardiovascular fitness will deteriorate as we age. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. When that happens, certain activities of daily living or the activities we just enjoy, like hiking, playing pickleball, running around with kids, grandkids, become more and more difficult until finally they become impossible. Yikes. Sorry, I know that's pretty grim. The goal, of course, is to push the age at which that happens back as far as we reasonably can to increase our health span. I hope and plan to be able to do all the things I will both need and want to do until my time here is up. But that will take being active for the rest of my life. Let me explain why. To illustrate the importance of regular activity, I want you to join me on a little trip to the year 1966. 60 years ago, researchers took 5 healthy 20-year-old males and put them on strict bed rest for 3 weeks. The groundbreaking study wanted to assess the effects of bed rest, followed by training, on cardiopulmonary function. It's known as the Dallas Bed Rest and Training Study. All the participants were assessed before bed rest to establish baseline, after bed rest, and then again after an 8-week training period. As you may or may not expect, their cardiopulmonary function after the training block exceeded their baseline fitness, which honestly is great news for anyone coming back from sickness, injury, or just a less active period of life. What was truly remarkable, however, was how much their cardiopulmonary fitness declined in just 3 weeks of bed rest. Also, because the researchers followed the men and did subsequent checkups on them in 1996 and 2006, we can compare the effects of several decades of aging to just those 3 weeks in bed. Drum roll, please. After just 3 weeks of bed rest, the participants' cardiopulmonary function declined as much as it did over the subsequent 40 years. 40 years! Put another way, healthy 20-year-olds, after 3 weeks of bed rest, had the same level of fitness as a 60-year-old. The first time I heard that, I was flabbergasted. Age, in many ways, really is just a number. Now, it's worth reiterating that the Dallas bed rest study was extreme. We're rarely in situations where we're going to be on complete bed rest. But there are plenty of situations where we might dramatically reduce our activity for a few days to a few weeks and possibly longer. In these scenarios, our body doesn't really care whether we're injured, sick, binging multiple seasons of our favorite Netflix show, or relaxing on vacation. The response to the inactivity will be the same, and it's this progressive underloading, which I've talked about before, that leads to a decline in physical function. If we stop moving, we can lose strength and fitness in a hurry. While this may sound grim, I actually find it to be hopeful. The hope I see is from the fact that we have so much control over our lives today and our future. Are there certain things with respect to our health that are outside of our control? Of course. And while we can't collect retirement income, we can still save for a rainy day. The fitter, stronger, and more active we are gives us greater leeway to bounce back from injury, illness, or vacation at any age. Remember the young men? After 3 weeks of bed rest, they completed that 8-week endurance training program. Not only did they recover the fitness they lost, but they ended those 8 weeks fitter than they were at baseline. Now, that becomes harder as we age, but so far as we know, there is no age at which we are unable to gain fitness and strength. Which leads me to a question I have for you. What do you still want to be doing in your 70s, 80s, and 90s? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing what everyone enjoys doing. And if you find this interesting, I write about health and longevity topics like this every week on my Substack. You can find the link below. And thank you as always for being here.